What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. I'm over here with a dear friend, a mentor, a leader in the industry, and somebody that I respect as a man, as a father, as a husband, an entrepreneur, somebody that I've learned a lot in such a short period of time. So, brother, always a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.
I always love picking your brain, and we love videos, so why not document it on video, right?
Yeah,
You're one of those that really eats, breathes social media and videos on a regular basis, not just once a year. So for those that follow you, I'm sure they ask, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay hungry? Knowing that you're at a level where most lenders would like to be.
Yeah.
How do you keep that hunger?
That's a great question.
Especially with this beautiful view and beautiful Palos Verdes.
This is life. So one thing that I've really been being in touch with in the last few years is living the life of my dreams.
Amen.
I think that's really important. So I think the problem a lot of people in real estate and lending have nowadays, and many other industries, is that they're focused too much on the money.
Transactional.
Very, very transactional. They're not in relationship with anyone.
Building.
And when that happens, you end up dropping the ball all over the place. Why? Because let's say that you have a transaction that shit hits the fan.
And it does.
And it does.
Let's keep it real. It does. You just want to make sure that you're prepared and you're working with a team like Willy and La Reina del Mortgage, Melissa. Shout out to Melissa. Absolutely. That know what they're doing.
Absolutely. So it's very important to, we're going to go all over the place, right? Because you and me kind of like go all over the place. All right, but in a transaction, it's very, very important to get connected with all parties. As a lender, as a realtor. Don't worry about, is this a $400,000 deal? 800, or is it
immediately start busting your calculator and finding out how much you're going to make.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Focus on the human being, see what their needs are.
Regardless of the purchase price, regardless of the size of the refi or whatever you're doing.
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
I mean, I've done loans as low as 60, 70,000. I'm not worried about that. I'm focused on the big picture. I'm come from an abundant place. You never know when that $60,000 loan
will refer you a $800,000 purchase.
Exactly. Yeah. But nonetheless, it's very important to be focused on the human beings. So back to your question about
how do you stay motivated? I mean, you figured somebody like Willy would be like, you know what? I've already reached the mountaintop. I'm Willy, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah. I can take the foot off the gas pedal, but he never does. And I want to know, how do you stay hungry on the price? Awesome. How do you stay on it?
I stay on it because I know I'm not nearly, I'm barely scratching the surface.
Wow, that's pretty scary.
See, a lot of people think they made it, and that's when they start losing. But I wake up every day motivated, back to your question, because of the people that I'm connected with. I don't work, with all due respect to all realtors, right, and clients, I don't work with jerks. I don't care if they're a top producer or not. I just don't care to do that.
A jerk with no money is a jerk with money.
Exactly. Years ago, I would take business from everyone because I really needed it. Not that I don't now, right? Coming from a humble place, but now my business model is more about
quality versus quantity.
So I wake up excited that I'm going to work with amazing human beings, and that's why it's not hard for me to wake up every day. I wake up every day 4:30 without an alarm, and I've been doing that 4 years.
Wow.
And I'm very connected to the life that I want to live. That's why every day I'm just pumped up. Why? Because my wife doesn't have to work anymore. I will never tell her to go back to work. That's a commitment I made.
That's beautiful.
My kids go to a private school. I cannot take them out and say, now you're going to go here. I can't move my family from the house in the area that we're at to this area because I chose not to kick butt and to do the right thing for people. So I'm just really connected with the life that I want to live. I want to take 4 to 6 vacations a year. I like to give to people, those in need. I like to give to my clients. There are some deals where I literally make nothing because they're in a tough spot. Things kind of went sideways on their deal. Here you go, just refer me some people. But it comes back.
It comes back.
Yeah, it's very important to be connected with the mission and not the commission. When you're just focused on the people, and you're just gonna come from an abundant place. You're gonna be joyful. You're gonna be happy. People are gonna want to hug you, right? Versus, all right, thank you. Yeah, I'll never refer you to anyone because I know you kind of screwed me on the transaction. You made a whole bunch of money, so people know when you're screwing them.
Wow, talk about dropping some golden nuggets. Now, for those realtors and lenders that don't have a why, how important is it to have a why? You mentioned your beautiful family, your daughter works with you, and how important is it to have a why and have that very well defined?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the why goes beyond that. It goes, savings. It goes, I help out my mom, my mother-in-law. We help out people all the time. So I want to always be in a place where I'm helping others. But yeah, you have to be really, really connected with your why. A lot of people say they're connected to their why. They're not committed to their why.
Ooh.
Right? Like some people say, my why is my parents, right? I want to help
or
them.
my family or what have you.
But you're not committed. You've been saying you're going to help your parents out for the last 5 years. Here you are borrowing money from them. So you're not committed. You have to get committed to your whys and really embrace it, embody it.
How important is it to enjoy what you do?
Oh, you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy it.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like a job. Like me going to the office, meeting a client for the first time, I don't see it as, oh my God, I have to do this. I thrive and I live for those moments. And one of the things that I was sharing earlier this morning with Susan is that Gary Vee said something that kind of struck a chord. He said, it's not that you're lazy, it's just that you don't love what you do. And I was like, wow, talk about a powerful phrase. Is that a lot of people don't love what they do, they don't enjoy it, and it reflects on what they put out.
Absolutely. So some people, I think there's like a fine line between loving what you do, being passionate, and liking what you do. All right? Like, you don't have to love everything about what you do.
No.
Right? Like, let's say as a realtor, do you love putting out signs and, getting all dirty? Absolutely not. However, and do you like driving people around? Maybe not. What if you need to drive 100 miles or more in a day? But the end result is what you need to enjoy. Right? Putting people into that
visualizing that finish mark, being at the loan doc signing table, giving them the keys, that picture with the sold sign. To me, that's what drives me. And a lot of people ask me, how are you so passionate? Or when they meet me, they're like, hey, you're the same way as when you're on Facebook. You have that energy.
And he is.
How do you do it? And I'm like, because I love what I do, and I'm passionate about helping a family with what we are blessed to do. And it's a blessing to be able to have a state license. It's just unfortunate that not a lot of professionals, whether you're in the lending or the real estate, a lot of them don't utilize it to their maximum capacity. And it's just, it's sad.
I mean, to me, like a license to be a realtor, number one, I think people, before being issued a license to be a realtor, they should be given a license to be in relationships. Like, go through courses on how to be in relationships with people, how to do the right thing, and then you get your license for realtor, for to be a real estate agent. But everyone should really focus on building that relationship. Like, all realtors, all lenders, they should meet with the client for at least an hour, hour and a half. Make it 75% building that trust, getting to know them, and the other
for that initial appointment to build the trust.
Yeah. And the 25%, I can pre-qualify someone in 3 minutes. It's that easy for me.
Facebook, FaceTime, over the phone call.
Yeah, absolutely. But the rest, I want to get to know my clients, because if we hit a bump in the road, it's going to be much easier to come together as a team, versus if we're all strangers, no one's going to want to...
There's no trust.
No, absolutely not.
Now, one last thing. They say that when you look good, you feel good. And when you look good and feel good, you perform good. Every single time I've seen Willy, whether it's, honoring us with his presence at our office, at an event, when we've met at David's house, you're always dressed to kill, as one of my favorite bands, Kids, would say.
Yeah.
How do you do it? You wake up like you're going to the Oscars or the Grammys,
I
man.
woke
Like,
up
seriously.
like this. I woke up. I just, you know.
He wakes up like this. Are you kidding me? I want to look like him when I grow up.
So these are PJs that it looks like it's a suit. I think it's very important.
It does something
even,
to your.
Yeah. Even like washing your car. I don't know if you guys noticed because I saw you guys down there, but my car was a little wet. Maybe you didn't notice that.
No. You went to wash it?
I went through a drive-through car wash because I didn't feel good about my car being wet. And it's not perfect. It still probably has all kinds of water spots. But you just like, you know, you just have to look at that. Makes you feel good, gives you an extra bit of confidence. And this world, unfortunately, it's very
how they see you, unfortunately, they'll treat you, and it may not always be that way. But again, if they see you coming out of a car, regardless of the brand, and it's dirty, or they see you looking like you just rolled out of bed and your hair's all over the place, and again, you're not going to come across as the professional that Willy is. So it is important. Willy, I always love sharing videos and social media with you. Special shout out to Willy and the mortgage guys and Melissa and everybody at your office. I can't wait to visit your headquarters.
Appreciate it. By the way, if you are looking to get into the real estate business, Ulises is very passionate.
But this video was going to be about you, bro.
No. He's very passionate about helping people getting started. And he's a great realtor, so connect with him.
And if anybody has any questions about lending, the process,
absolutely,
how can they contact you and your team?
Best way is through social media. I think you know. But here's my number: 626-696-9406. If I don't pick up, I'm sorry. Best way is send me a text message. I'll get back to you.
Reporting live from beautiful Rancho Palos Verdes, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Willy. I'm just Ulysses. Bye, everybody.